Now here, the first thing we have that was define form. In form name, we have given name of form, that is feedback, action URL, abc.html, where you contain your data of users then that is written to amount collect from user. Depending on that, methods on rectangular box with border we are at so and we have to work strictly inside this area. I'm giving heading that is with, with that speaking. Now next line. Now for example we are creating but here I am not using that in defining. Okay, in the first practical we have done this using. So right now I am using label form field, the text, name of this field. We can take as name. For example, we are creating name. So I'm writing name. Type your name here so that user will get this data when he open this form on web browser. Then for the password field form, the form field, the field name is we going to give initial value as the initial value will not readable will be not readable here. It is password. Then comes radio button and the so here in form field button here group name same group name buttons. So here we giving again for email. The group name will remain same. Email after that is email. Now for example, search form country box hobby field value. For example, reading copy checkbox. This have with music. Next more we are going to insert checkbox, hobby and sports. Right. Comment that is feedback for taking from here. Now field name is for example number 10 and columns are to define width and height of a we are creating drop down text area. Now here list name for creating this list is we are not checking all this very manually. Now after option first name Add option, Baroda, sugar, only. Okay. Before the add label, that is reset and so insert form field. First we are going to it. So submit button, field name is for example submit, field value is what the text that is visible to user. Field and with capital S and submit. So you can see that on button capital is visible. Same way now insert taking that same cell. So ours be there on button there. Okay. Before that, it will ask you to give title gives us feedback. This is title. Now to save feedback form. Now no need to give extension or HTML. We fix it automatically. Okay. Save. Now click on browse button. Output. Here you can get this output. This is the default. For example, 5, but it is not visible. So password is visible, no one can read that. Then male and female option, both are working. Only one is possible out of multiple. Okay. Then hobby, we can select multiple option. User can select multiple option. In this comment box, now when you continue typing, it will create this bar automatically. Same way, when we are going to continue, okay, because that bar commodity text. Now from CT, the first option will get selected. If user is changing, then this option will be submitted. Then submit button. Now data. So it gets the form gets everything original when it was open, and when submit then not get anything because this data is being submitted to abc.html. Now we are not this uh, HTML document in our web server. There is no such website. That's why it is showing message when we click on submit. Okay. A few more formatting to make your form attractive. So, for example, making it proper alignment. Okay. This all things can be done by you according to your need. Okay. For this, I am giving one line space. we need now saving this. Okay, now we are ready, neat and clean. Now we are giving background to this. For that, remain page colors and background. Now from here, use custom colors. Now from here, you can change link, which by default it is blue. So active link is visit means on your link, and it turns into active link turns into visited again. So might have seen this type of whenever you click some and come back to your page, then that is in different color. Now this is you can background from here. For example, I am selecting light pink. Okay. Now click on browse button. So now you can get background. Same way, format, page color background. If you put any image, I'm seeing and clicking on browse button. So now you can see that now this form we have designed. Now in output it was like this. Now we have started validation and we have made one restriction that without typing name here, user cannot submit this. Okay. For that, what we have. So first of all, in source, this is design. So in source, we have that let's create that function. So how to create function? Right click here, go to form properties, then go to advanced edit. In advanced edit, what we have done, we have clicked on JavaScript event. Here in JavaScript event, there are so many events and we have selected on submit. That means we have used one function with this submit button. So when user will click on this submit button, then this function will be called. Okay. So on submit event will do what? It will give control to this function. So this function name is user defined. You can give any name here as function name, like check form or validation or HTML validation, whatever name you want to keep, you can keep here as your function name. And each function has parenthesis. Okay, like this. Function name is after that function name we use parenthesis. So this parenthesis defines what arguments for that function. So what is argument that we are going to see in code, and this is return keyword which transfers control after clicking on submit button to this check function. Okay, so whatever is defined inside this check function is executed. So they created one function. Now go to source. Now after creating this function, in your form tag you will get that function coding here. This is on submit is equal to return check. So this will be done automatically as soon as you create that function and link it with on submit event. Now till now we have just created one function only. Now we are supposed to give arguments, means what this function is about to do. So for that, first of all, between head and slash head, this is slash head. Okay, so this is head section. Between these two tags, we are going to introduce one more tag or element, that is script. So using this script, we can include JavaScript in our web page, HTML page. So now in script, we are initializing this function. We are initializing a function named check. Okay, to initialize a function, keyword is function. So function, then name of that function. Now this name must be same as what we have defined in that JavaScript event here. Means it is case sensitive also. So compulsorily these two must match in case also. So and spelling also you have to check. So it is recommended to use a single letter word for a function, so that spelling mistake errors can be removed or avoided. Now this is scope of function from the first curly bracket that opens here after function, and this is closed. Okay, so between this we are defining this function, what this function is going to do here. So first of all we are creating a variable. So what is a variable? A variable is a named location in storage. Okay, so you are defining a location with name X on your storage device. So now some amount of memory will be reserved, and this X will hold some value. So which value you want to store there in X, that we are going to define in this way. The location of that value. Okay, this is value which is stored inside name field. Okay, which one is name field? This one. Okay, so when we have created this field, we have given field name, that is name. Okay, so that name is used here in script coding. Okay, so name, that is field name where this value is. Then this name field is where? In feedback form. In feedback form. Okay, so there are multiple fields in this form. Name of this form is what? Feedback. Okay, so this name should be there. So this is feedback, and the first thing, that is document, that is your whole HTML file. This one, feedback form 1.html. But here we are not going to write feedback form 1, but we are writing document. That means this document, in this document there is one section called feedback. Okay, this name we have given to the form that we have created here. So there is one section called feedback, and inside that feedback form there is a field called name. In name field, whatever value is there, X has to store it. Okay, X will get that value. Now that location X has some value that is typed by user in name field. So now we are checking, okay, if the value stored in X is null, this is OR symbol. Two pipe symbol or two vertical bars is called OR symbol or condition. Okay, so there are two conditions. So either this or this will match, then this will happen. Okay, so when OR operator is used, at that time whatever comes after that condition will get executed when at least one condition becomes true. So if this is true, then also this will happen. If this is true, then also this will happen. Now notice this, there are two double equal to sign. So double equal to sign in programming is equality check. It checks whether value on right hand side is equal to left hand side or not. Okay, so it is checking whether both these are same value or not. So result of this is what? Yes or no. Okay, both this will be equal, that is yes. If both are different, then it is no. So there are only two possibilities in equality check, yes or no. So if it is null, or this is for blank, two quotes. Okay, so if it is null or blank, then this is going to happen. What is that? This is alert. Okay, this is inbuilt function that gives a dialog box in output. Okay, so that in that dialog box, whatever you want to show to user, type it here in double quotes. Okay, so please enter your name. Now user will get that this text, and then he will type on OK. Okay, there will be buttons also to interact. So OK, when user types, then what will happen? Now we want to bring user's focus, user's cursor on the field where he has to do something. So which field is this? Name field. So we are bringing focus in name fields. So using this focus function, cursor will come to name field. So again, location, to give location, method is same, document dot feedback form dot name field, and this is inbuilt function focus, which brings cursor in this field. Now finally, last line is what? Return false. Okay, it will again exit this function code. Okay, so this is the last line that we are going to use every time we use one condition. So return false. Now let's see this. Still there is no error. So now how to check where we have done any mistake? So go to source. Now from here your coding starts. So this name we have already seen, it is matching with that what we have used in form properties, that we have used in form properties. Okay, so now we are going to check whether these names are proper or not. Okay, so document spelling is okay, yes. Feedback, so form name is feedback or not, that we are going to check now. So here in form properties, see this, we have committed spelling mistake here. Okay, so I am making this correction, feedback. Okay, D was not there earlier. Saving again, clicking on browse button. Now without typing anything, I am going to submit this. Now you can see this, please enter your name. Okay, whatever we have written in that code part, it is showing this alert message. Alert message is there, please enter your name. Okay, it is showing that. Now when I click on OK, my cursor should come to this place in name field. Okay, that is function of focus function. So I am clicking here OK. Now you can see that this field gets highlighted and cursor is here. So that is the duty focus function that we have used, this one. Okay, so focus comes to name field. Now let's see when we type something whether it is allowing us to go further or not. B, B, C, D. Now submit. Now that dialog box is not coming. That means now this check is complete. Okay. Now same way, there are events abort. Okay. Now where this event you can see, go to right click, form properties, advanced edit, JavaScript event, and then these are events. Okay. So according to this abort, that is when an image is loading and when you this event is called, okay, it is cancelled, that image will stop loading on your page. Then blur, so when any object like radio button or checkbox becomes inactive, that means user is not able to select that, that is blur event. Then click, when user is going to click on some part of that form, and when something happens, then click on click event is there. Okay, before this, for each event there is on abort, on blur, on click, on change, like that. This is on change event where user is changing a form field. Okay, any value in that form field when user is going to change, at that time on change event is happening. Then on error, when document or image stops due to some error, at that time on error event is there. Then on focus, okay, that is elements such as button becomes active. On load one part to another, that is on mouse out. On mouse out over, that means when I move my mouse pointer from one place to that particular part. Reset, user clicks on reset button, then it is set to default values. That is, if it is blank, again all fields. On select, be a button, radio button or checkbox, or button like reset submit also. Submit event, when user submits a form. Okay, so on submit event, what we are doing, we are sending that data to abc.html. Okay, so on submit, this data goes to this location, action URL. Then unload, user leaves a page when user moves out of that page, whether forward or backward. Now I'm adding one more field, that is for code. Okay. So here I'm leaving one space, pin code. Okay. Here again it is syntax field. So form field, text, pin code. Same name I am keeping here. Okay. And I am clicking on OK. Save this and browse. So what happens now, if ABCD, I have written this. Now in pin code, as we know that pin code is having 6 digit only. So if I write here ABC 3 ABCDEF, I am using more than 6 characters, and instead of numbers, when I click on submit button, it is not showing it. So now we want to make that restriction. The user can more than 6 characters, as well as user cannot any other character which is not number. Okay, so for that, now once we have created one function, we don't need to function for each validation. Let's go in source part. So now the same thing here, we are going to create variable y. It is not compulsory to create variable in the beginning, so you can create variable as and where you require it before using its value. Okay, so now we have created one variable y, which is taking its value from pin code field in this feedback form in this document. So now this function's scope ends from here to here, this, okay, which is checking whether name field is empty or not. Now after now we are going to use another if. Now you can see this is scope of functions. Okay, this is scope of function, check function, and this is scope of this condition. So for before ending this quick function scope, we have to use this if. Okay, we cannot use it after this. Otherwise, if we do that, then it will not work with this function. Okay, it will be not checked. This function is called. So if y double equal to sign, then blank. For blank, we are using two double quote is NaN. Okay, why? This we have to remember. Okay, is small, not a number. N, both N are capital. This has to be taken care of. Then y dot length greater than 6 or y dot length than 6. Now bracket over. Now there are four conditions. If we have to restrict user from submitting this form. Okay, so first of all we are creating alert message so that user can come to know what mistake he has committed. So please enter proper pin code. Now semicolon. This is when semicolon is encountered, that means statement is over. Okay, this is statement which is ends with semicolon sign. And this is not a statement, this is condition. Okay, here we cannot use semicolon. If you use semicolon here, then this condition will not work. Now focus function document dot feedback dot in feedback form there is pin code field dot focus. So earlier we brought focus into name field. See this name focus here. When this is wrong, or if any one of this condition match, then focus we are bringing in pin code field and return false. Okay, to exit this coding part of condition. Okay, now we have saved this, browse it. Okay. Already we have seen this ABCD. I am typing there in pin code. Now first of all I am leaving it blank. So let's check. Show it. Please enter proper pin code. Now I am typing something 1, 2, 3 A B C D E F. Okay. Now again please enter proper pin code because alphabets are there. Now I am going to write characters. We have limited it for 6 only, not more than 6, not less than 6. Okay. So again it is showing error. Now less than 6. Okay. Now I am typing 6 only. Now it is allowing us to do that. Okay. So these two validations we have seen and how it works. So here what is important, first of all create a function, then create variable, then the condition that you want to put the form. So for each field you can put a condition where you can restrict user from doing mistakes. This is again, now in this we have created, we have checked for conditions in one statement, one single effort only. This is first, this is first, this is, and this is fourth one. Okay, same thing you can do like this also. If this is null, alert, focus and return false. Okay, then if this is blank, you can do this. So one for one by one also you can this block of if. Okay, if you don't want to use at once. So here this or this also you can put separately like this is NaN and blank. So when this method is useful, when you want to show different messages in different cases. So here in this when blank we are giving alert message, enter the pin code proper. Here if it is not a number, then please please enter a number, and if length is not matching, please enter a 6-digit number. Okay, like that. So this we are going to when you want to customize all alert messages. Now comes here, we are going to check whether user has left any field unchecked. Which one? This one, this male female field, and this is for hobby. So if user is not selecting any single option from these two groups, then we are restricting user to submit his details through this form. So for that, first of all, let's understand this. This is little bit different than the earlier one. Okay, so here location of that first button, like for example here it is gender. Okay, for gender there is one button for male and one for female. So first of all we are going to check whether male is clicked or not, selected or not, then female is selected or not. So let's go to our coding part so that we can easily understand this. I am opening that file from recent pages and feedback form that we have used yesterday. So for example, click on this button, then right click here, go to form field properties. Now see this, because we need this one, group name, okay, gender. Now when there are multiple options, so each option is identified by a subscript. Okay, so gender is group name. We are supposed to follow not this one which is outside, but the name spelling of gender which we have defined here in group name. Okay, so small GENDER, and there are two options. So we have second option using subscript. So subscript is what? This is first option. So when we write gender and in square bracket 0, then it is reference to the first option, that is male. When we write gender in square bracket, this is C, form 1, gender 0. This is for first option, whether it is male or female. Same way for second option, this is gender 1. Okay, so this is for second option. So, and here instead of this or symbol or condition, this was vertical bar or condition we have used earlier, but now we are using two ampersand sign. This is called ampersand. Okay, so ampersand sign between two conditions. Okay, so when two ampersand signs are used, it becomes and condition. And in and condition, this statement, if statement, will become true only when all these conditions are true. Okay, these, and if you have created one more with an ampersand sign, so if all condition are true, then only this will happen. Okay, if a single one is false, then this will not happen. Okay, like if this is checked is equal to false means not checked. If this check is equal to false, that means not checked. So in this case, if this and this means and. So this first condition and this second condition is not checked, then only this will happen. Okay, if please choose your gender, and we are moving focus on that first field. So this way we are going to use this subscript part. So we are going to source again. Going to store any value here. We are not supposed kind of validation. Only the thing script tag. Okay, this script after function tag. before this last curly bracket over, we are supposed to write this. If document dot feedback, okay, our form name is feedback, where you can see in form tag itself, this is form tag, and in this tag name of our form is given, that is feedback. So we are locating that object which we are going to check. So in document, in that document, there is feedback form section. In this that feedback form section, there is one group gender. Okay, in that there are multiple options, but which index number we are referencing, that is 0. Here index 0 means the first option. Dot check, whether the first option is checked, equal to false. Okay, now what is this true and false? So when we select this, okay, this is considered as 1, that is true, and if it is not checked, then this will become false, that is 0. So here we are going to write like that, false. Now to ampersand sign. Same for second option, document dot feedback dot gender, then subscript is 1 for second option, check, equal to false. Now close it. Okay, now you can see that I have closed this one. And from here it starts, and from here this condition is ending. So here you can see that there are two brackets. Okay, so we are grouping this condition. Okay, this whole condition, the first one and the second one. Otherwise this condition is having multiple parts, like document form 1 gender 0 dot check equal to false. Okay, so it will not address properly to the whole condition. So we are putting both these conditions, for the first subscript and second group. We are using parenthesis here. Okay, here again parenthesis. So now these are two parentheses we have created for first and second condition. This is for first, okay, and this is for second. But there should be another one which include the whole statement into if condition. So this is opening of if condition, and this is closing of if condition. That's why there are two parentheses. Now when both of these are false, that means unchecked, at that time this condition will become true. So at that time this will happen, which is inside if block. So that is what alert, please select at least one option from gender. Okay, now this is semicolon, and document dot feedback dot gender 0 dot focus. And last one is return false as always. Now save this, and we are going to see that output. So refresh it, the page. Okay, now I am typing something here. I am typing some password here. I am not going to check any one of these options. I'm selecting this one. Here 1 2 3 4 5 6. Comment something. Okay, now submit. Now see, it is showing us that error, that alert message. Please select at least one option from gender. Now, when I select this, it is allowing me to submit the details. Okay. Now see that code again. Okay. So in source, this is our condition, that is inside script. If document.feedback, this is document name, then feedback is form, then inside that there is a group called gender. In that the first option, that is subscript 0 dot checked is equal to false, and same way this is end condition. Earlier we used two vertical bars, and that was for or condition. That means at least one should match one of these. When one of the multiple condition is true, then the if block is executed. Now here in end condition, when all conditions are true, then only this block will execute, if block. So this is first condition, and this is second condition for gender one, that is for female option. Okay, is equal to false. Then alert message we have created. Please select at least one option. Then we are moving that focus back to gender 0. Okay, so this one validation we have used. So same way now for second group of option, that is hobby, we are going to use this. So for that, you can see here same way. Here the group name was gender, and here it is hobby. So hobby 0, hobby 1, hobby 2, like that. So this is for first option, second and third option. So now in coding part, now I'm typing here another if. This is again two parentheses document dot feedback, that is your form number, dot hobby. Let's check whether the name is hobby or not in that coding part. Now in design, you can see this. Okay, select this button, right click here, go to form field properties, and you can see that field name we have used hobby. Okay, so field name hobby, and in field value, depending on different hobby, we are using different field values: reading, music, and sports. So we are going to use this name in our coding part. So now in here, hobby, that is square bracket 0. This is first hobby dot check equal to false. Now curly bracket, sorry, parenthesis is over. Now this is our first condition, that is over, but still if is open, this is brackets. So now ampersand, two ampersand sign. Now again a new parenthesis document, since we are using three conditions here. Okay, so 3 times 3 brackets we are going to use inside this main if block, main if bracket dot feedback dot hobby 1 dot check equal to false. Close this. Again one new ampersand sign, end condition, then document dot feedback dot hobby. Now here subscript will become 2, since this is the third option, and subscript start from 0. So this is 2 is for third option. Dot check equal to false. Now close this bracket of the third condition and the main if bracket or parenthesis. Now here if all these conditions are matched. That means if user has not selected a single hobby, then only this will happen, because all three conditions are joined by end condition. So when all are false, that means nothing is selected. At that time we want to show alert message, that is, please select at least one hobby. Then document dot feedback dot hobby. Then the first option dot focus. We are bringing focus on the first option and then return false. I'm saving this. Let's see output. Now name, password, mail. Now I'm leaving this so that we can check whether the condition is working or not. Submit. So now it is showing that error. Please select at least one hobby. So now if I select one hobby, then it should allow us to send this. Okay, it is allowing us to send the details. You already know that website is having hundreds of pages of information. So on each pages, if you want to give a particular effect to some text, for example, this one, this is Wikipedia. Okay, now this is one heading. Okay, now same way this is another heading, then this is third heading, like that. So whenever this type of things comes, so we need to show it differently than other text. So at that time we need to use some element or tag to give that effect. So for entire website we have to do the same operation again and again, some hundred of times. So there is one way that can reduce your efforts of this, that can reduce your efforts, and you can make that setting only once and apply it as many times as you want. So for that there is CSS, cascading style sheet. So again we are going to KompoZer. Now this is KompoZer screen. You can see this CSS editor button is here. Same way, from here also in tools menu, CSS editor is there. Okay, so you can use any of these two options to start with CSS. Now I am using this button of CSS. Now when you click on this button, the first thing that it will ask you to give page title. So I'm using here CSS example. This will become title of our web page. Okay, now it will ask you to save your file with some name. So same name I am keeping, CSS example, as an HTML file. I am saving it with same name. Now a new dialog box comes on your screen, that is CSS style sheet. Here the first option, style applied to all elements of type. Element means tag. So with which tag you want to apply a new style. So keep this selected. Then from this menu select some tag. For example, I am selecting heading 1. Okay, that is H1. Now with H1 we have created a style rule. So what is inside this style rule? So click on create style rule. Now here you can see different tabs. The first one, general tab, is right now blank. So as soon as you give some effect to this style, that code you will able to see here. So afterwards we are coming to this screen so to see the code. So now comes text. So whenever H1 heading level you are giving to your page, at that time font family, which type of font you want. So this is predefined font family. So as soon as you click on any option, you will get preview of that effect here. This is preview box. So let's check it. So predefined I have selected. This is font family, Arial and sans serif. Same way Times New Roman is there, Courier New is there. So these are three different font families. Okay. Now in case you want to take a particular font, at that time click on use custom font family, and from here select the style of font that you want. So from custom font family I am selecting some text like Comic Sans. Okay, so now you can see that effect here. Okay, now font size, there are different font sizes, large, small, like that. So you can select any one from here. For example, I am selecting large, but since we have used H1 we are not selecting this. Line height, that also. Then color of font, default is black. If you want to change, select a particular color. For example, I have selected this one. Now you can see that font weight, if you want to keep it bold or light or normal. Okay, font style, normal, italics and oblique. So for example, I am using italics. Case, no change. That means whatever you type, it will be seen as it is. Or if you type it in uppercase or any other mixed case, then it will be converted into lowercase, like that. Capitalize, that is first letter of each word will be capitalized. So I am not changing this. Alignment, for example, left, right, center and justify. So if you want to make it center, click on center. Now these are text decoration. So giving effects to text. For example, this one, overline, line through. Okay, this line through is the same as strike effect. Underline, this is blinking. Okay, and none. So for example, we can select multiple also. So I am selecting underline and blinking here. Now background to the text. So there are two types of background, color and image. So first of all, let's take this example of color. Okay, then borders. Now see this, all four sides use same border style, so it is default checked option. So if you want same border to all four sides, at that time don't change here and select the border type that you want. Okay, like this. This is solid, this is dotted, this is dash. Okay, then width. Okay, that you can select from here, thin, medium and thick. Then color of border also you can select. For example, I'm selecting some color, again blue I am taking. Okay, like this. Now if you want to change border on all sides, at that time remove this. Okay, so from here you can select different border, from here you can select different border, and like this. Okay, now let's move back to general tab. Now you can see that whatever effects you have given, that coding is done here. Now click on OK button. Now you can see nothing happened here till now. So when you will get this, first of all we have to select a text tag that we have selected for CSS. So that was heading level 1. Now you can see that that effect is given here. Now I am typing something here. Now for example, now I pressed enter to move outside this effect, and now after some space, now we can consider that here some normal text is there, and again after some time a new heading is required. So again select here H1 and type something else, for example furniture. Okay, so you can see this. Okay, so this is first heading, this is second heading. Now let's move to source. Okay, so this is source. So you can see that this style tag, that is start from that coding start from here with tag style. So now whatever I am explaining here right now is part of that theory. So this CSS, to include CSS in our HTML web page, tag is style, and then attribute type is equal to text or CSS. This is value of type attribute of style tag. Now this is called selector, the tag that we have selected to apply style to our web page. So this is called selector, and in this selector, in this curly brackets open and close, between this we are defining style. Okay, so border style has value this. Okay, then border color has value this, and between these two the symbol is colon sign. Okay, and each style is separated by semicolon. So this thing you have to keep in mind in terms of theory preparation. Now you can see that this is outside body. Before opening body tag, okay, we have used this style tag. So this effect is not visible until you select this selector and type something. So this is part of head section only. So this is part of head section only. Okay, in head section we have included style, and style is closed here and then head close. Okay, so one more thing, let's see output of this file. Click on browse, save. Okay, you can see this. Between this there might be some text, and then another heading, then again some text, like that. Now we have discussed the benefit of CSS, that is it saves your time by duplicating the same code. Okay, so for H1 we have created one style, and now even if we want to use it 500 times, we can use it instantly without coding all this code again. Okay, all this code. So we have done this effort once, and we can use it as many times as we want. Now another second major benefit is what? If you have applied this style, okay, at 500 places in your website, like this, on each pages, for example 3-4 times, and there are hundreds of pages. So if you have done that manually, then you have to go to 400 and 500 places to edit something. Yeah, for example, suppose I don't like this background color, and I want to change it now. So if I go to manually edit all these things, I have to do it 400-500 times. But using CSS, again go to CSS, okay, CSS editor. Now click on this selector that we have selected, go to background. Now for example we are keeping one image. So now we have selected one image I have downloaded earlier, so I am selecting that, and now select. Okay, now you can see this everywhere, that change is done within few seconds only. So this saves your time in terms of coding part.